This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Hello, my cat-loving friends. Jody Teiche is a health coach, and we know about health coaches for people, which she is, but she's also a natural pet health coach for your animals. Did you know this was out there? She has been working for many years with this stuff. She's been a pet homeopathy educator with over 35 years of experience. So we want to find out what this is about and how it's going to help our animals right after a word from our sponsor.
Take a bite out of your competition. Advertise your business with an ad in Pet Life Radio podcasts and radio shows. There is no other pet-related media that is as large and reaches more pet parents and pet lovers than Pet Life Radio. With over 7 million monthly listeners, Pet Life Radio podcasts are available on all major podcast platforms, and our live radio stream goes out to over 250 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, Odyssey, TuneIn, and other streaming apps. For more information on how you can advertise on the #1 pet podcast and radio network, visit PetLifeRadio.com/advertise today.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to 19 Cats and Counting. I'm your co-host, Linda Hall, here with the ever-gorgeous, my BFF, my ride or die, Rita Reimers.
Can you believe it is 5:15 in the afternoon and it's already dark?
And it's dark. I
don't
hate
like
daylight
it.
savings time. They need to about.
I have to
We'll talk about that.
I have to fix the lighting in my office, so I'm in the dark right now. Ooh.
Yeah.
But that's enough about me and my dark office. Welcome to 19 Cats and Counting. We're so excited.
Yes.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. And you ladies are awesome. So
Aw, thank you.
Just a couple crazy old cat ladies.
Welcome to the Pet Life Radio family. You also have a radio show on Pet Life Radio. Two. Ooh, tell us about
Bark and
those.
Swagger.
I have a show since 2014 called Bark and Swagger. Then it was about living stylishly with your dog. Sorry, everybody listening. And rescue, which we all love. And so I would interview pet fashion designers and people in the rescue space and authors in the rescue space. And it was just really wonderful. And I loved it. And I grew the show to 500,000 listeners, which was super, super cool.
That's amazing. We might need you to coach us along.
Right? Right?
But having the Pet Life Radio platform is really helpful too. And then in the last year or so, I have the Pet Health Coach show as well. Bark and Swagger is still on Pet Life Radio, but I also have the Pet Health Coach, which is what my passion is and has been for the past few years, is natural healing in animals. So
I love it.
We love that too.
So is that, if you could define what it is you do in a nutshell, for those of us who are not familiar with it, what would that be?
So just like health coaches in the human world, pet health coaches are a bridge. Sometimes they're a bridge between the pet parent and the vet, or the natural vet or practitioner. We know more than the average bear. So we talk and guide about nutrition. So it's knowledge transfer, it's resources, it's being a champion for you, a safe space that's non-judgmental where you can talk about what you're grappling with, how to move forward. We create plans together, and we're accountability partners. So we are that person who takes the ball down the field for you from where you are with your animal, where your animal is, to where you want to be.
That's great, because nutrition is so difficult, especially when it comes to cats. For one, because they're so picky about what they eat. And for two, knowing what is safe out there, for one thing, and then how much they need and what nutrients they need that you might need to add to their diet.
Yes. So nutrition there are certain similarities between dogs and cats when you look at history. Okay. And before I get into that, every animal is bio-individual, just like every person is bio-individual. So what might work for my Suki isn't necessarily going to work for one of your cats or the other. So it is a bit of experimentation. But what I will tell you is that if it's possible, and your cat can either learn to or gravitate towards raw or some semblance of raw, that historically is what they ate as big cats. And while we've domesticated them, like we've domesticated dogs, what that really means is they sleep in our bed. They've got their own beds. Some people dress them up. They are domesticated into our homes and our lives, but their digestive systems haven't changed that much.
100%.
And they're designed, right? They're designed to eat the whole animal. So Suki, for example, my cat, we mix it up. Okay. So she will have organ meats, very important. Organ meats are critical for vitamins and minerals. They are the most nutritious part of the animal, more than muscle meat. And every organ, and this is the coolest thing, every individual organ supports that organ in your animal. So,
kidneys for kidney, heart for heart.
Yeah, that's interesting. Makes sense.
Yes. So you want to mix that up as much as you possibly can. Even, things that are a little bit distasteful, like brains and stuff like that, but hearts and kidneys and livers and spleens, all of it.
Just close your eyes and do it. My cats love those freeze-dried sardines. They're just sardines. That's
the minnow things from Two Crazy Cat Ladies. Munchy minnows.
I hate those things. They look at me. I'm not there.
I can't look.
A fisher. I've never been a
don't look at
no. And so exactly. So I'm like just kind of tapping the bed, kind of squirt them out without looking at them. And then I just don't look at the cats for a while because someone will be walking out with just the eyeballs and the head sticking out of their mouth and I will vomit. So it's really disgusting.
I know.
But they love it and it's good for them and it doesn't have the crap. So I do it. I didn't exactly enjoy changing human diapers or feeding that mush they call baby food when my human kids were little either, but I did it. Sometimes it was like, with your head turned to the side. I did it.
I didn't go through that.
I did. I mean, my daughter is in her 30s. So, I mean, it was a long time ago.
Yeah. My firstborn is 35. So yeah, I got you.
There you go. Yes. So we do what we have to do. That's the best for our kids, furry or smooth.
Yes.
And so muscle meat is important. That's the bulk of the diet, maybe 70%. Organ meats are maybe 25 to 30%. With cats, you can feed a greater percentage than with dogs for organ meats. And this is always a crapshoot with cats, the third component to a really well-rounded, you've got all your vitamins and minerals meal is raw meaty bones. So the stuff that they would crunch up on the rabbit or whatever they killed. And Suki doesn't want to chew a bone. She's like a Miss Princess, just cut everything up for me and give it to me ready to chew, like ready-made.
Yeah. That's how my 17 are. Yeah, they don't want to work for it.
Yes.
Right. So it doesn't always work with cats, but what I'll do is there are some really beautiful pre-made raw brands that have the raw meaty bones ground up inside.
Something won't even know. Yes.
And the muscle meat. They don't know, but they're getting the vitamins and minerals. And then sometimes I'll mix it up and some meals or days I'll give them freeze-dried. I'll give her freeze-dried because she likes that too. And it's good for them. It's not as good as raw. Under raw, I have my food pyramid.
Okay.
And the quality, the vitality of the types of food in the pyramid go from the basement is kibble. And pet parents need to understand, and this is especially relevant for cat parents, it is so devoid of moisture that it keeps your pet in a constant state of dehydration, and it is promoting UTIs in cats, promoting the formation of crystals. So for that reason alone, it's not a great choice. But there are other reasons. The high heat means that all of the vitamins and minerals are killed. And what they add in is synthetic after the fact. And sometimes, number one, it's not as bioavailable by a long shot. And sometimes it creates inflammation. The form that it's in, it's not healthy.
I have a cat, though, that I took in recently, one of them that belongs to our sanctuary, and he won't eat any wet food at all. I've tried everything I can think of, because the first 10 years of his life, all he ate was dry food. He doesn't really know what to do with the wet food.
Oh, and Suki didn't at the beginning either. And wasn't 10, she was young. So you have a bigger challenge on your hand. Wet food is the second rung up on the pyramid. So the reason why it's the second rung up from the basement is that, again, high heat, everything added synthetically, but it does have a lot more moisture. So it's better in that regard. And, that's a big improvement there. The next rung up is dehydrated. Again, it's got a heat process to it. Anytime you add heat, you're killing.
Yeah.
Then above that is freeze-dried. Above that is home cooked, which is amazing if you can find a recipe or recipes that your cat loves.
Oh, we failed at that. We both tried that.
I was going along okay, and I just needed to stick at it. And is that not everybody's biggest problem? Like, oh, it's so much easier. Just grab the thing out of the freezer or wherever
Not
it is.
easy home cooking. It is so not easy. Believe me, I know. I've been there. It's a lot easier to pull something out of the freezer, wait for it to defrost, and pop it in the bowl. I know. But that is the next rung up, and with the meats or fish, to just sear. Really sear, if they won't have it completely raw, because some animals don't like it raw. So searing helps.
Okay.
And then above that is the top of the pyramid, the point.
So,
And that.
yes. Yeah.
Don't you worry about salmonella and things like that, though, with raw meats?
I don't, and I'll tell you why. In dogs and cats, two things make it very unlikely that they're going to pick these things up. It's more likely that we'll pick it up. So I use surgical gloves, or I wash my hands soap and water immediately after handling. But in animals, the acid levels in their stomachs is so much higher than ours. Just think about it. It's meant to completely break down gristle and bone. We can't do that.
Yeah.
So it's very, very high acid, like battery acid in there. So it's unlikely that any beings survive that level of acidity. And then the other reason is their transit system, the transit time to digest is so much shorter than ours. They just have a shorter,
less tract. Yes. So it gets through quicker. Okay.
Through a lot faster.
That makes me feel better, because that's always been my concern too. And that's why I started trying to do home cooked, which really, the process isn't difficult. I found a good
getting
recipe.
them to eat it.
And I got, you can get those organ meats and some of those less desirable chicken parts for pretty cheap. You can do this a lot cheaper than you could buy cat food. Yes. And I think I put in a little pureed pumpkin, and I don't know, and I had a little vegetable powder that had vitamins in it that I added to it. And what I needed to do was mix it with something that they liked, and then slowly keep shifting that ratio. And I fell off and then never made another batch, but we could get back to that.
It happens. It is absolutely, we know very well that cats hate change, and that any change has to be so incremental that it can't be seen by the naked eye. So it takes time.
That is so true.
It does. I do have a couple of tips with regards to, they don't need vegetables at all, but we are finding that having a little bit in there for fiber is not a bad idea. We're learning more and more. So you have options. There are companies like Green Juju. Green Juju is an amazing company, and they make a freeze-dried greens blend. They make several different blends, but everything is organic. They know exactly where it's sourced from. It's just really pristinely grown and harvested. It's a great, great brand. And they also make freeze-dried food, and I think they're coming out with raw for dogs and cats as well.
Wonderful. Yes.
That's a great brand for your listeners to check out.
Yes. Green Juju,
Thank you.
everybody.
Juju.
And I'm so appreciative. You even said that in a phrase earlier about without guilt, because we have people on the other, and they're like, you're going to hate me for this. I feed my cat dry food. You're going to hate me for this. I had to take him in. You're going to hate me for that. No, I don't hate you. I don't hate you for anything. Even if you did something horrible, it was probably done out of ignorance, or you wouldn't care enough to hire a consultant on behavior.
And then once they like it and they get stuck on it, it's hard to change it, right? Even if they want to change it.
Yeah.
And that's experimentation if you want to. It's experimentation, and it's literally starting out with like a minuscule amount and over time working up. And that's what we did with Sook. You know, we did that with her because at first she was like, what do I do with this? You know,
and they'll starve. They'd rather starve than eat something they don't like.
It's true.
Oh, it's crazy. I know.
My 19-year-old Missy's up here right now because I didn't come down to give her something else. And she's not liking what I fed her.
Because they know that we're going to cave.
Exactly. Eventually, if I just keep looking pitifully enough, then she'll do something about it.
I got scratched a second ago when I picked Jet up, so forgive me putting makeup on.
You're touching your face, put me on stomach. So yes, you know, we've told people, look, you know, they're like, look, I'm sorry, this is what I can afford. So do some small things. Like I said, those meats are very cheap. Put them, you know, with a little bit of bone broth or something and cut it up and add it. You'll be using less of that food. You know, no, it is not good for me to eat 2 meals of cheesecake a day.
Why not?
But would it be better to eat 3 meals? I knew you'd argue with that. Better to eat 3 meals of cheesecake or 2 meals of cheesecake and a broccoli, right? Like, do what we can.
Do they cancel each other out?
No, but it's a little less of the bad and a little more of the good.
We won't go into human nutrition right now, but I get your point, and you're absolutely right, and I agree with you. We meet people where they are, and it's the same with my human coaching clients as my pet parents. You know, not everybody is ready, whether it's financial, whether it's lifestyle, or whether it's philosophical. Not everybody is ready to jump completely into the pool day one. So yes, the little bit that you can do, help, every little bit.
Yes.
How would you
suggest help with the turnover?
How would you suggest getting a cat that won't eat anything but dry food to start accepting at least a little bit of wet food or raw food?
Have you tried canned sardines in water? No salt added.
Oh.
I haven't tried that.
Try little teeny bits of sardines, fresh sardines. Ooh.
Something to get into
the stinkier the better, right?
Same thing with canned salmon.
Okay. What about canned tuna? You have to watch the mercury with that.
Yeah, a little heavy on the mercury. I can stay away from that. But canned salmon, you could start there. Little bits of egg.
There you go. Yeah.
What else is a rave?
The poor guy. He's
put
10,
a little bit in with it,
and he spends a lot of time by the water bowl. But he's had a checkup, and there's nothing wrong with him. But it's because all he eats is dry food.
That makes you thirsty, right? It's just munching on something that's taking all your moisture. I mean, stick a piece in water and watch what it does. So now imagine it's going into your body and it's sucking up all that water that you needed for your body that was supposed to help remove toxins and go through your body. And now it's in that little piece of puff, right?
That's a good analogy.
Like if your cat, what about cooked meats like what you would have for dinner?
I've tried. My other cats will, but he won't. I don't know. Zuki is just an enigma. And Missy too. My 2 older cats.
Just put a little piece in with the dry food and see if you did just adjust to it a little, right? Like the scent.
A little piece of it before you cook it, like just a little teeny bit of the raw. Because maybe, when you cook it, it's a different flavor. It's a different.
That's true.
It's got those juices,
Yep.
Loves it. What may be really yummy for us may not
exactly. Yep. And start small. And I do that with all my supplements. If they won't take a whole drop, we're fine. Put 1 drop in. Just put 1 drop in for a few days, and then they'll get fine, and then you'll put 2 drops in, and you'll get it up, right? Just
till they know
slow descent. Everything goes slow with the cats.
We have to take a quick break here for our sponsor, but we'll be right back to talk more about how to trick your cats to eat what they're supposed to. We'll be right back.
Molly, here's your dinner. Zeus, that's not your food.
Don't let that happen to your precious cat. Elevate your cat's eating experience with the Cat Tree Tray. The Cat Tree Tray keeps your cat's food off the floor and conveniently located on the cat tree. It's the perfect way to eat. It's a beautiful wrought iron tray that easily attaches to your cat tree and keeps dogs and other critters out of your cat's dish. A must for multi-pet households. There's a 6-inch tray for large bowls and a 4-inch tray for smaller bowls. Purchase your Cat Tree Tray today. Go right now to cattreetray.com. That's cattreetray.com. cattreetray.com.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
And we're back with 19 Cats and Counting, and my co-host Linda Hall. And Jody, I'm afraid to say your last name because I know I'll say it wrong.
Teiche. So I'll tell you what has had me upset, Jody, is worse than the food is the products. So in 2020, excuse me, we lost my son-in-law to COVID, unfortunately. And thank you. And my daughter had to move back home with their 4 cats.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of how that was. So there was a lot of, mayhem and trying to get everybody together.
Mayhem. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, it was mayhem. So we started looking for some over-the-counter like calming products. So the first thing I looked at was Nature's Miracle Calming Spray because it says nature on it. And it has 3 undisclosed preservatives that I had to pretend to be a detective to find, which are all 3 of which are not allowed in human cosmetics because they're known to be a moderate risk of organ toxicity.
Yeah, sorry, Nature's Miracle. You're not natural and you are not a miracle. I used to use
You're
it
a
all.
liar.
And we weren't going to call out names of products when we came across things, but as we decided, things that are toxic and harmful, we've got to name brands. We have to.
Every time some 20-something, maybe 30 young lady is on talking to me and tells me she bought Resolve's Urine Destroyer, which has 4 ingredients in it, which cause reproductive and developmental toxicity. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Or they just say they have an
can't.
enzyme cleaner. And we used to get excited. Oh, good. But now we're like, what is it? Because it's
What
always
enzyme
Nature's
cleaner?
Miracle.
Yes. What is it? Throw it away. Just navigating to try to get safe things. It's awful.
I understand. And it's wonderful that you ladies are reading labels. More pet parents need to be doing that. I am very grateful that I've come across certain products that I absolutely love.
Yes.
That's why you're here. We love to hear that.
See, one of the first that we talked about a little bit before the show is a pre, pro, and postbiotic. We know the gut microbiome is where all good and poor health begins. And the vagus nerve that goes from the gut to the brain, the longest nerve in the body for dogs, cats, and people, is the hotline. They communicate all day long, and 80% or 90% of the serotonin in our pets' bodies and in our bodies are manufactured in the gut. 80% of the immune system is in the gut.
Yeah, there's been a lot in the press lately about people in that vagus nerve and how your diet affects even if you're going to get Alzheimer's or not.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true.
So it's the same for our pets.
Exactly. I was just going to say, when you think about dementia in animals, I mean, diet is the foundation piece for all of that. And this takes time. It's a poor diet over time that can lead to these kinds of health issues. So having a wonderful pre, pro, and postbiotic is incredible because you don't hear about postbiotics.
No, you don't.
It's true.
Because many out there. What I love about this, and there are 2 of them, it's called mutt gut and kitty gut. And what I love about it is it's 33 strains of bacteria, they are put through like a boot camp. So, and what's so important about that is this boot camp shows the manufacturer, who my friend created this. I mean, she created it because she cured her own autoimmune disease with this formulation. She takes mutt gut every day.
I was
Linda
just going
needs
to ask
that.
if
Linda,
that was
you need
cross
that.
species because I'm going to be getting some mutt
Human
gut.
grade. Yes, and she's coming out with a human product that's going to be called Urban Flora. It's coming out any minute. It's all the same formulation.
We need to know about that.
Yes. So these 33 strains, the reason they're put through this boot camp is so that they can survive the high acidity of the stomachs of dogs and cats.
Wow.
So
Okay,
that
yeah.
it can get those bacteria strains can get down to the colon to do their work. The other thing that's amazing is that the fermentation process, they do a fermentation process with inactive spores. And that never happens because that allows these metabolites to be created that are really beneficial for the gut and the body. So this is it's a standalone in its field. There's no other product on the market that's like it. And it is really efficacious. It works.
But we definitely need to do.
And that'll solve a lot of problems.
We need to have your friend
You
on
know
our
what I'll do?
podcast.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
Oh, Michelle, totally. And maybe what I'll do is I'll put the link if any of your listeners
Yes, please.
want to order this.
Yes,
Thank
please.
you.
Send you the link and you
That
can
would be
put
awesome.
it in.
Yes, we'll put it in the description. Yes, definitely. Definitely.
Perfect.
So much
Perfect.
that our nutrition and health changes when you don't get it right. Rita and I, well, my daughter and son-in-law found a cat that somebody had dumped in a trailer park. We thought she was a baby. She's the size of maybe 6 months old. She's at least 5 or 6 now. We're not 100% sure.
She had bad nutrition.
Poor nutrition.
When
She was eating out of trash cans.
Oh, poor thing.
She has horrible gut health. If she strays it up, I am horrible on everybody in this house about wiping up their crumbs. Because so help me, she licks one crumb and that cat's pooping everywhere. She's
poor thing.
she has to stay on track. I'm thinking this might be a good thing for Shadow.
Definitely.
So much experimentation, but and Rita's had a brother and sister set, unfortunately, Sonny's passed, but she still has Smoochie, that were found at 3 weeks in a ditch. We don't know how long they'd been without nutrition. And then, of course, they didn't get mom's milk. And they were a little bit slower and
slow on the
special.
uptake.
And I say that they're a few price short of a Happy Meal up there. It's all about the nutrition. We just don't understand how important it is from start.
Early.
The kitten I just took in that we thought was a certain age, and I just took him in to be neutered because I thought he was 6 months old. Well, he caught up on the nutrition he was missing, and he's almost 10 pounds. And we're like, no, he's more like 9 months.
You're like, this is not a 6-month-old cat.
Yeah, no, he's not.
Nutrition,
thank goodness he caught up.
I know. Yes, I'm glad she got him quick enough.
I got him in time
because we didn't get Shadow in time to make up the difference. I mean, she's living her best life, but I really wish that I could have sooner. But that just causes a myriad of problems.
It does. I have another product that I want to share. I must share with you ladies, for your listeners and for your cats. It is called Cellular Boost. And what this is another, I always meet the people. I make it my mission to meet the people who make these products because I source it. Cellular Boost is my friend Terry Elliott. And Terry, this was a human product, but in the human product, they had things like xylitol and peppermint oil, and we don't want that for animals. So the doctor that formulated the human product, she said, I would love to offer this for pets. This was several years ago. And she said, can you make it without xylitol and peppermint oil? And he said, yeah, I'll do it. And so that happened for a few years. And he said, I'm not going to make this anymore for pets. And so she said, well, will you give the formulation to me for pets? And he did. And she became a friend of his. And so this is Cellular Boost and this special omega-3. They work beautifully together. You don't have to do them together, but they work beautifully together. So the Cellular Boost is a spray. You got to be able to get the cat close enough to spray a couple of sprays in the
Yep.
No, that's not easy.
Yep.
Could you spray it on their food? Would that work, Jody?
You could.
Yeah.
But the better thing is to somehow get it onto some mucous membrane.
Yes.
You just need a little to get
It's one of
into
those
the bloodstream.
sublingual
Like
things.
absorb. Yes.
Okay.
is something that goes into the bloodstream. And what they are trace minerals that are run through a proprietary machine that the formulator created that electrolyzes these trace minerals so that when they get into the bloodstream, they go right to the mitochondria, the center of the nucleus of the cells. And they electrolyze the cells. They make them come alive so that the nutrients are better able to be absorbed by the cells and the toxins are better able to be expelled by the cells.
Nice.
And that is why the omega-3 works so beautifully with it, because then the cells can
absorb that.
Absorb.
Right.
And the omega-3 is green-lipped mussels from New Zealand. So they're sustainable. They're very high quality.
Good.
Form of omega-3. And I take it, again, you can take these. And
a few things like
I love things like that are human grade.
Share with your cats. Yeah, I do some sprays and that cellular boost, and I get energy.
Oh, I need
energy. Did you say? I need that
energy.
Yeah. Oh, ladies, energy. Do you guys have trouble sleeping?
Oh my gosh, I'm the
Linda
worst.
does.
Okay. What about things like?
I have trouble getting up in the morning. Is my problem. I have the opposite problem from Linda.
Okay.
I'm all of the above.
Okay.
Yeah. Once I finally get to sleep, then I'm like,
I'm hearing you.
Okay. Yeah. That's me too. I can't get to sleep. And then I wake up and then I'm exhausted and I want to go back to sleep, but it's going to be spurts, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a show about cats.
Yes.
This product that I'm going to talk with you about is not for cats.
Okay.
About it, so we're not going to talk
Disclaimer,
about it.
not for cats for this product.
This is human.
Show, but this is a product for you guys that is amazing. So if you end up loving it, then you can share it with your listeners.
Yes. Okay.
So you'll send us the link off air.
I will. And
okay. If we like it, we'll talk about it too.
We'll have a little quick combo after.
Because if you don't take care of yourself, you're not going to be there to take care of your cats
100%.
Or dogs or children or husband.
100%.
It's the core of everything. And it's not only about being there for the people and animals that you love, but it's about living your best life. Why shouldn't we feel vibrantly alive? Why shouldn't we be able to do everything that we need to do in our lives and sail through feeling happy, feeling energetic, feeling trim, healthy, alive?
I haven't lived trim since I worked for Richard Simmons. So
it's been a minute. It's been a minute.
Today we know more and we have more things available to us that a lot of people don't realize and know about. So this is what's exciting to me about natural medicine.
Yes.
Jody, have you written a book? If you haven't, you need to.
I have a book in me. I haven't done it yet.
Okay, you got to get it out of you.
We're waiting.
Yeah, you do.
One more product that I want to share with you. Also can share with you, your cats can share the product with you. And this is, we've heard a lot about medicinal mushrooms.
Yes.
Right. The last few years, mushrooms, they're so good for your brain, so good for your heart, so good for your, kidneys, so good for your immune system.
Yep.
There's a laundry list. Cats can have mushrooms. Now, granted, there are certain mushrooms that are poisonous to cats, to dogs, to people.
Right. And to people.
However, I found this incredible blend. It's a 10 medicinal mushroom blend that is good for cats and dogs.
And people?
Yes. Oh, I use it every day in my smoothie.
Love it.
It's incredible.
Awesome.
And again, I met the really lovely couple, Stephen and Angelique, who sell it here in Austin. But beyond that, I know who the grower and harvester is.
That's even better.
And then I know that a 30+ year mycologist, mushroom guy, expert, grows these and harvests them. And it's all pristine. So that makes me happy. So it's called High Vibe. Love the name. High Vibe Mushrooms. I will send you a link. You can share it with your.
We definitely will.
Yes.
Share this.
For yourselves if you want.
That too.
Yes, energy and support for all those things I mentioned: immune system, brain, gut.
Nice. That's what we all need. We all need that.
I need to like order this now.
I know, right? We're gonna get off and be like,
I feel when I hear about something new that just sounds so amazing and somebody else has had a great experience.
Exactly. You know, when I first, I don't have a problem with Western medicine. Neither does Rita. There are Western medicines that I take. However, when I was first diagnosed with MS, the things they put me through, girlfriend, you don't even know. I had problems with intestinal motility, so they removed my large intestine. My large intestine is now hooked up. And that was before they decided it was MS and went, oh, we could, pain medications, benzos. I'm off all of that junk now and have gone to more holistic things.
And all those things that plug you up and make you not able to poop, right? And then they take out your
yes,
half of
please
your
give me narcotics when I can't.
Yeah, I know. You know what?
So, I've been changed forever by all of this. And I have slowly been finding things that I could work in that aren't that. And I'm not against that. I'm just saying there's a time and a place for it. And all medications have some kind of side effect, even if they're small. And if you need them, that might be worth it. I'm a big pros and cons girl. Everything's pros and cons in my life.
Well, we have to weigh every situation
exactly
on its own merits to
decide if it's worth it.
Well, it's the same with our animals too. We've got to weigh the pros and cons. And I'm so worried about Missy right now because she's 19 and I know she could live a longer life, but if I can't get her to put some weight back on, she's not going to be with me much longer. Yeah. I beg her to eat every day. I get her to eat eventually, but it takes a lot of time and coaxing and begging and trying this and trying that.
Yeah.
Okay. So there are a couple of things that I'm thinking about for Missy that leads perfectly into something else I want to talk with you guys about and your listeners. One is there's an all-natural, beautiful appetite stimulant that I got for Sophie, my dog, towards the end of her life because she started losing her appetite towards the end. And I looked through all the ingredients and I really liked it. And I will double check about cats. And if I'm positive, I will send that to you.
I appreciate that.
Yes. And number two is homeopathy. The other thing that I do, in addition to being a pet health coach, is I'm an energy medicine practitioner. And I've been a student of, because you are a lifetime student of this, girls, ladies, because it is so deep and multi-layered. But for 35 years, I've been a student of and practicing on and off, but on for quite a while now, of homeopathy. It is a beautiful form of real medicine that like art meets science.
Yes.
Homeopathy may be able to help Missy. So we should talk about how I might be able to help you there.
Awesome. I appreciate that. And then, of course, when things work, I will share them with everybody. I hate that we're going to have to wrap up in a few minutes because we have a behavior session in 8 minutes. But are there any last thoughts that you'd like to leave our listeners and our viewers with, Jody?
In addition to homeopathy, there's something that I also use with clients sometimes called frequency scanning. It's a Tesla invention, Nikola Tesla, from the 1940s. And it basically scans the body of you or your animal, identifies the frequencies that are out of balance, because we're all made up of energy, everything vibrates on frequency, then sends corresponding imbalance frequencies to gently coax them back into balance. Quick story, kitty cat named Bobby. She has a great appetite. She's very talkative. She stopped eating. She wasn't talking. Bobby went into the room because we've got to have you or your pet in a room by themselves for the scan because everybody has energy. We don't want anybody else's energy.
Mix up your energy with theirs. Yeah.
Right.
Makes sense.
The scan and the optimization. And Bobby literally trotted out of the room, one session of less than 5 minutes. Meow, meow, meowing, and ran for her dinner.
That's amazing.
I need that for Missy and Zookie too.
We can talk about
We've
that.
been surprised.
And this HIV cat that I might be taking in from
FIV.
FIV. I always do that.
That's the human thing.
Exactly.
The same
human
thing.
versus feline. Yes. Same
Ladies,
thing,
I know you have to go. We could talk for hours.
I know you need to come back. We can take any of these topics that we've just touched on and do
and make it a whole show. Exactly. You have.
And I would be honored. And I thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you for coming on and sharing this information. It's so helpful, and we've learned a lot. And we always take a little bit, and then we spread it around too. And we're doing our sessions and things. And so, it's very appreciative.
Please come back and let's take a topic and delve into it.
Yes.
I'd love to have you back on a pretty regular basis. We don't want to take away from your podcast, of course. Make sure you go to Pet Life Radio and look for your podcast. It's called the Pet Health Coach.
Yeah, and Bark and Swagger.
And Bark and Swagger.
Parents are into fashion.
I love it.
Dog with those cats.
I love it. Exactly.
Thank you so much. You've really enlightened us, and I can't wait to talk to you more.
Yes, agreed.
So much, ladies. Have a beautiful rest of the day.
Thank you. You too. Thank you.
And thanks, Linda, for being my BFF and sidekick and my co-host and everything. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Mark Winter for giving us this spot on Pet Life Radio. I'm forever grateful. And just remember, every day is Catter Day. See you next time.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.